Now, usually you would know that I usually say, welcome to another podcast of the current situation at Manchester United. But just before I get into that, I will go on a short segue and say, I obviously appreciate any person or anyone that watches, take the time out of their schedule, if they have a schedule, to watch any video podcast of mine. I'm very appreciative of that because I know a lot of persons have shit to do. They have a boatload to go through, and they have a lot of things on their plate, so that they have to adhere to. So I appreciate any person that takes the time out of their schedule to watch my videos. But do not do this on my YouTube channel. I don't appreciate that one bit. It's not a lot of you guys, but it has happened a few times, and I just want to call it out once and for all. So this could be said. Do not comment on one of my video podcasts when you haven't watched my video podcast. I don't appreciate that one bit. That's one of my biggest pet peeve. Do not comment on one of my video podcasts as if you have watched one of my video podcasts. Because basically, you're trying to, what I mean, you're just trying to say, oh, that's a very good video. Oh, that was very pleasant. Like this female commented on my last video podcast. I made it on this because I didn't really want it to be out in the outskirts, but this female commented on one of my videos, my last video to be exact, and she said on the 10th second, she even quoted it. She was that very specific. She quoted it and said glorious. Now, I wouldn't even have a problem with that if this female watched this particular podcast that she commented on. But when I looked through my analytics to analyze, then I realized that she didn't really watch my videos. So she was really a fraudulent that happens, you know, just to watch my videos when she didn't really watch my videos. So I'm saying this to most of you guys as a warning. I ain't go, because again I'm not nobody. I'm just giving some some information on Manchester United and my thoughts on Manchester United because I'm a Manchester United supporter. So with all this being said, when you're commenting on my videos, if you're going to comment, no, I don't obligate anyone to comment on my videos. Okay? But if you're watching my videos and you have the spirit of commentary as endowed on you to comment on one of my video podcasts, comment it with being in sync with watching my video podcast. Do not watch my video podcast or don't comment when you haven't watched my video podcast. Because that's a fraud. That's a whole. Do not do that. Do not do that. That is what's what I'm looking for. That's just basic. That's just basic. That's just robbery. That's just robbery. So again, do not do that. Watch my video podcast, and if you have the spirit of commenting, then comment. Leave a comment, and I might leave it to cement there. If it's something again, if it's an insult, I'm going to remove that comment. I'm not going to make that comment stay there cemented. I'm going to remove that comment if it's insulting to me. Now, if it's insulting to what I've said in the video podcast, then I ain't go mind because I mean everything is subjective, and not everything is straight to most persons because everybody has a different stand, spin off, and take on a particular matter. So I don't really mind that. But if you're insulting me or if you're commenting on one of my videos, I haven't watched any of my videos, bro, you're going to get blocked. You're going to get kicked from my video channel, and you won't have the availability of commenting on my channel. Again, this is not a real big problem, but I'm just putting it out there for the first 4 minutes and first few minutes in this video podcast. I don't accept that one bit. I don't like it. I just see it as a fraudulent move for a fraudulent person trying to brag me and to bite me into believing and deceiving me to believe that you have watched my video podcast when based on the views I've seen, there's no views, but I've seen one comment saying it's Google roots. I'm the mathematician, but that's not good maths. You cannot be commenting on a video when you're having to watch a video. I don't think a baby would even do that. So anyway, yeah. So again, do not comment on my video podcast if you haven't watched my video podcast. Now, if you have watched my video podcast and you have a criticism or you have a subjectivism comment you want to share, so you want me to hear or what you have to say, then portray that in my comment section. We can debate it, we can discuss it. But if it's something insulting or you comment and you're going to watch my podcast, bro, I'm going to kick you out of my channel. My channel. Do not do that. Don't appreciate it one bit. So anyway, welcome. Hold on, let me set this straight. So before after I set some of you guys straight. So welcome to another podcast of the current situation at Manchester United. This video is based on transfers, Manchester United latest news. Again, I told you guys I will be back until mid September, but knowing me, I was just, maybe I just felt compelled to do this video podcast. But there's been a few changes for the past few and 2 weeks as relates to Manchester United. Manchester United has now intensified their linkage with Donny van de Beek from Ajax. He's a 23-year-old midfielder. I haven't seen much of him, but persons are saying he plays like a Lampard. He's more of a controlling type of midfielder in the midfield. So with this midfielder coming to Manchester United, again, I don't think this guy is going to start for Manchester United because of Fernandes and Nemanja Matic, who is getting old, so he's not going to really have those legs to cover as relates to the defensive midfield position. But I don't see Van de Beek starting in the midfield. Although I would say this, he would start in midfield if it's coming to cup games, if it's coming to FA Cup games, if it's coming to the Champions League games, if we have qualified in the Champions League for the next round. Let's just say that. But I don't see this guy starting on a consistent basis. I'm not saying he's a bad signing, but I'm saying United needs to have proper signings for next season. We have been dilly dallying on Jadon Sancho's signing. We wonder in our curiosity if this guy is going to be Manchester United player next season. I mean, people are wondering what is the valid reason why Jadon Sancho is not coming to Manchester United this season, although the season hasn't really started, so that's not a valid reason. But Manchester United, as relates to Van de Beek, I think he's going to get the number 34, and I think that's in relation to. Hold on, let me check so I can be on point with my commentary. Yeah, so basically it says right here that Van de Beek is choosing the number 34. Maybe he's a fan of Fellaini, who knows? But I think Fellaini wore 31. I think he used to wear 27. But I digress. But yeah, he said that he wants to wear the 34 kit number because it's in relation to a tribute of his friend named see, I'm not the best of pronunciation, so I know I'll go mess this up, but Ab hold on. Abdelak Nouri, yeah. So basically, that's the name of his friend. So he's going. I don't know if this friend passed away or he passed his time in football or something. But he wants to wear. It's been not proven, but it's said to that he's going to be wearing that number if he comes to Manchester United, which he will come to Manchester United. So that's a good number. Um, you know, If he wants to make his legacy at Manchester United wearing that number, then he can be my guest. But I just don't think this guy is going to start. I just don't think this guy is going to start. Some are saying that he's very versatile. He's very he's not he's non he can play different roles in midfield, like he can play defensive midfield, he can play center midfield, he can play as a attacking midfield, because I think that's his position. Attacking midfield and CM as a center midfield. I think that's his basic bread and butter, position. So, which goes back to my first point. I just don't see this guy starting ahead of Bruno Fernandes and or Paul Pogba. But if he's based on what people persons are saying about him having the ability to play as a defensive midfield, I just don't think he's that physical enough to play in the defensive midfield at Manchester United. This is the Premier League. This is not, in respect to the different leagues in the football world. The Premier League is more physical. It's more aggressive. So having this guy as the at the base of the defense of the midfield, I should say, it's not really a good. This is not N'Golo Kante. This is a midfield that is a box to box midfielder. He happens to play box to box that can play uh, defensive midfielder, but that's not his claim to fame. That's not his MO. So we don't want him as a defensive midfielder because he doesn't have the physical prowess, or he doesn't have the physical finesse to play there. And if you play him right there, we're going to leak in and leash a lot of goals. We don't need to concede more goals. Speaking of conceding goals, Manchester United, as it said right here, has been linked to yeah. Speaking of leeching of goals, Manchester United's linkage to Gabriel, of this defender, he he shipped himself to London. Specifically, he went to Arsenal because Arsenal is trying to tighten up their defense, as we should as well. But apparently, the London lifestyle is better because the lavish lifestyle. You have buildings everywhere. You have the skyscrapers everywhere. The lifestyle, the reggae music, the black person. The reggae music is more enlightening. It's mesmerizing. So he wants to go to London instead of Manchester because Manchester is apparently very cold and it's full of persons that are very old. So he wants to get himself to a London and a younger lifestyle. So he goes to Arsenal instead of Manchester United. No harm, no foul. I ain't go rub no salt in a game, bro. But you should have just come to Manchester United. I'ma just leave it right there. But as relates to other signings, which United haven't signed, I told you guys, but United have signed an egg already. Um, Manchester United, which I found kind of left field. But this is 2020 and a lot of left field things have been happening this year. But Manchester United has been linked with Liverpool's um, linkage as well. Thiago of Bayern Munich. Now, as it relates to midfield, I don't know where this guy is going to play midfield because it's kind of telling because Pogba is on the verge of signing. Hold on, my head is scratching me. Pogba is on the verge of signing a new contract, and based on his not his client because Pogba is a client. His what do you call it? Yes, Mineriolo, the guy that is his agent. Bingo. His agent. He believes that Pogba is going to stay at Manchester United. But me knowing, well, I haven't met the guy in person. But based on the person of Mineriolo, he's very unpredictable with his clients. So Pogba stays, professed to stay at Manchester United, which is not in stone. He might be linked to a different club. He might go to another club. So as relates to Thiago, if Pogba leaves, then I would not mind Thiago coming in midfield because Thiago is going to set that midfield more balanced. Thiago is a box to box, top class, I should say, because he just won the treble with Bayern Munich. And Bayern Munich is a hell of a side, very colossal side with very beautiful and world class players. So with the signing of Thiago in Manchester United, we have Scott McTominay as well, but I'm coming to Scott McTominay in a second. With the sign of Thiago, he's going to come in a Paul Pogba role and allow Bruno Fernandes to play his role as a number 10. So he has his role, Thiago has his role, and the defensive midfielder, which will be Nemanja Matic, of course, will play his role. So there won't be any interchange of play because they're not attackers. So there won't be no different confusion of communication between the three midfielders. Because Pogba has a tendency to attack. He wants to be built up in the attack. Thiago is more disciplined. So he won't go up forward as Pogba. He wants to, he's more laid back and chill and build. So he wants to build from midfield and to allow Bruno Fernandes to do his magic up front for the attackers, of course. So maybe the reason why Thiago is being linked to Manchester United is because Pogba might leave Manchester United, although that is not written in stone. But this is 2020 and everything is very unpredictable and everything can happen just like that. But as relates to midfielders at Manchester United, I'm going on a rambling road this afternoon because I don't want this video to be long. Fred has been linked with Galatasaray on a season loan, and they also want the option to sign him permanently after that season when he's been on loan with Galatasaray. Now, if that is a loan, I don't think that is a loan that will benefit him because he plays in England and England ball game is different than which country is Galatasaray? Not Switzerland. I'm leaving. It's leaving me right now. But it's a different ball game than yeah, wherever Galatasaray is located. Not I can't remember right now. But that type of ball game is not the same. Okay? I say that to say this. If we're going to loan out Fred, he needs to play in the Premier League. Whether he goes to Everton, Chelsea, or even to Manchester City. It doesn't matter. He needs to be loaned to a Premier League side that will not play against Manchester United. Okay? If he's going to be loaned out, he needs to be more experienced. This is 2 years under his belt in England now for Fred. Not 1 year, not 1 month, not 1 week. This is 2 years for Fred as relates to being at Manchester United, being in England. So he's basically used to the ball game and the football frame in England. But if he's going to get loaned out, it's no beneficiary to him to leave England to be loaned out in a side that cannot be named at this moment in time. But I don't think he's going to benefit in playing on Galatasaray when he's going to come back to England because that is the thing that messes up Andres Pereira. Not to go on a long ass run, but that's the thing that Jose Mourinho told Andres Pereira to stay in England so that he can play as a third stringer midfielder if there's any other midfielders injured. But my man basically told Jose Mourinho at the time that hey, I'm a player in progress and I want to make that process of going to Spain and play there again for Valencia so that my career as a player can improve. When I'm playing under you, Jose Mourinho, you want to play your old boys, the 31-year-old, the 29-year-old, like Alexis Sanchez, the Matic, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, all of those kind of players. I don't want to play with those kind of retirees or players that are going to be retirees on the fringes in a couple of years. No, I want to get me some football game in Spain so I can play there again and not play there again after that season is finished in Spain. And I come back to Manchester United and start as a starting midfielder. That's you see, as relates to Andres Pereira can play for Manchester United no more. As relates to being a starter, he can't be a starter for Manchester United no more, and that's what hampered his process and progress as a player. He was a prodigy that had the potentiality and the capabilities of being a top player. We have seen Andres Pereira in 2016 doing very good in the under 18, I believe. So this guy had the potential, but he wanted to go to Spain and play football and try to adapt to English football. That doesn't make any sense. So as related to the Fred loan, Fred should just stand alone at home with Manchester United, play Manchester United football game, although it will not be a starter for next season. But I could be wrong because Matic could have a long-term injury. But oh, God forbid. But we just don't want midfielders to be loaned out of the country. I think they have a green card, so I don't mind that. But I just don't want them to be loaned out of the country to be playing in different uh countries and leagues that won't benefit them when they come up in the Premier League. It's no benefit. No benefit doesn't put on a golden star to their name. They need to stay at Manchester United as a squad to be strong. We need to win the title next season. We need to show other clubs we have a reason to win the title this season. We have made no signings as yet, but we can. Van de Beek is going to be a sign. He's going to be our first signing. I believe that wholeheartedly. I don't think Thiago is going to come to Manchester United, but as relates to Jack Grealish, Jack Grealish, I want Jack Grealish to be a Manchester United player. Whether it's going to be 75 million pounds to sign him, whether it's going to be 50 million euros pounds to sign because he plays in England, right? And his nationality is English, right? But we need to pay money to get this player at Manchester United. Because what if Marcus Rashford gets injured? Who are we going to play? Daniel James? We have to have squad depth. We need to have the squad depth of an iceberg. Up top, we need to have a starting squad. But if that starting squad gets injured, down below on the sea level, we have players that can slot in. That's the reason why Manchester City, although they knew win the Premier League next season, last season, they they were a very contentious candidate to win the Premier League. They put pressure on Liverpool. They were basically on Liverpool's tails for the majority of last season and the season before. So squad depth is really big, bro. Because again, we have Odion Igalo up top as a second string. Of course, he's no starter. If Mason Greenwood gets injured, who are we going to play on the right wing? Um, Andres Pereira, because person saying that Andres Pereira can play right wing. Just because he can cross from the right wing doesn't mean he can play the position of being a right winger. Daniel James, oh, because he has a lot of pace, and when he gets that a lot of space, he's going to exploit that space with his pace and play good football. What if we play against a low block team? What's he going to do? Come back and pass the ball to the right back? That's not what we need, but we need better players with that are very tactful in their display when they're playing football. It's not about physicality. It's about technique, ability to beat the players. Okay. So with Jadon Sancho, I believe Manchester United is going to get Jadon Sancho, but you can tell that it's been a very hard, negotiable, it's probably a contentious um confrontation because obviously someone is playing manipulative head games. If there was no manipulative head games, one party would say, if you want to sign Jadon Sancho, you have to pay this uh amount of money. You get me? If Manchester United said no, bro, I ain't go pay that money, so you can stay with the player. We don't want him anymore. We'll just go for someone else. I say okay, that's fine. But there is a manipulative head game that's been played. Manchester United obviously want Jadon Sancho, and Dortmund know Manchester United want Jadon Sancho. So what they're going to do is that they're going to play a few games. They're going to say, hey, if you want Jadon Sancho, you have to make sure that you pay this, and you have to do this. What anything else? Oh yes, man, you have to do this. The season is going to start in 2 weeks' time. Today is the first. Well, from where I'm speaking, of course. Today is the 1st of September, 2020. Two more weeks, and the season starts. At least for the Premier League, because again we ain't go play on the first game of the season because we are being given grace period to at least get a signing under our belt, which is respectable. We can accept that, but we need signings to enlighten and bolster our squad. We don't need average players like Jesse Lingard and Andres Pereira. Not to pick on Andres Pereira because he's average, but he's average. But we just need better players because we have gotten Champions League football, so we deserve a few Champions League footballers to play better football for next season. We need to show the Premier League side that we have a reason to win the Premier League next season. Not because we are Manchester United and we have the most Manchester league titles in the country means that we're going to win Premier League. It doesn't work like that. We have to do the work for us to win the Premier League. So in order for that to work, we need to put in the work. Um, a last thing before I take my seat. Well, I'm already taking my seat, but before I come off this long ass one, as it relates to Manchester United signings and the in and outs and the outings at Manchester United. I'm just looking up the latest news at Manchester United, so I just want to give you guys an insight on an intel of what's happening in Manchester United. Um, so the question is asked: why do Manchester United need? Because this is apparently the amount they're going to sign for Van de Beek, which I think is very perfect. 40 million euros squad player, which would be Van de Beek. 40 million euros squad player Van de Beek when they already have Scott McTominay. Goes back to what I just told you guys. We need squad depth of midfielders. There's a certain adage in football that's been said. If you lose the midfield battle, you will become second best in the game. And second best is not really the best position because you're going to lose the game. So we need midfielders in different roles. So if midfielders from different roles get injured, we can slot in a midfielder here, we can slot in a midfielder there, so that we can go somewhere with our form. We don't need to be going on a good form and then our midfield get injured and then we regress. We don't need to be doing that. If man if hold on. If uh Paul Pogba gets injured, God forbid, of course, because he's a Manchester United player. But if he gets injured, I believe Scott McTominay needs to play games. Him or Fred needs to play games. I think Van de Beek is more profitable and more prolific when he's playing as a number 10 for Manchester United, which might be very frequent because Bruno Fernandes has been on and off here and there, but we need him to be playing behind the centre forward because again, I've not seen this guy play football that much, but I get the impression he struck me as a player that can score goals as well as setting up goals and making goals. So we need to intensify the potentiality in that player because I think he has goals in him, and I just don't think playing him that deep when we have Scott McTominay on the bench with Fred on the bench is not going to be. It's not going to look like it's not going to be a he it's not going to have it's going to create a bit contentious in terms of the midfielders because McTominay is going to be on the bench like so this guy just came in from not London, not Hollywood. He came from Holland, from the Dutch country, Netherlands, and this guy starting over me. I am Manchester United through and through. I've been in the Manchester United academy ever since I was 13, growing balls, going here matches. I know that I'm a very good player. Coming into my best. No, Ole want to put me on the bench. No, I need to start. I need to be playing games very frequently. I'm in the young stages of a player that needs to be given game time. Not no, bro. I'm on a roll right now. But yeah, Manchester United just again is going to create some contention, but it's going to create competition in the midfield. So the midfield is not going to stay safe. It's not going to stay, hey, I have this certain role in midfield, so I know me and Oli gonna search to have a bonding relationship. You know what I mean? I'm dating his daughter, and that he knows that how a player goes, you know. But as I grow, he's going to play me more. So, my position in the squad is very downlocked. It's written in stone. So I know if a midfielder get injured, he's going to start in a midfielder, and if I know I play poorly, he's going to say RIP, player, I'm going to, give you a few more games to get some form about yourself so that I won't inform you to another player so that I can play that player in your position. No, you're going to be playing games. No, we need players to be unsettled. We need players to know that if they mess up in the starting level, they're going to get kicked to the curb on the bench and start in another midfielder. So to answer that question, why do Manchester United need Van der Beek, a squad player apparently, when we have Scott McTominay? Because we need squad depth of midfielders in the squad. Our squad depth of midfielders, if Van de Beek doesn't come in, is very poor. We have Jesse Lingard, Andres Pereira, One Matter. Let's not forget One Matter. That matters really whenever situations come and go. But Mata is becoming a later player. He's becoming more of a Matic now. He's becoming like a retiree that needs supervision. He needs to be going to an infirmary down the local road down there. Okay, so we need players with squad depth so that we can compete for the Premier League next season. We have very good strikers, we have very good attackers that are very young, that they can come into their own and they can play their own game and they can put a stamp in the Premier League. Now, I don't care if Manchester United win the Premier League with 66 points. I think that's been done with 72 points. I believe that has been already done with Manchester United. But as long as Manchester United win the Premier League, I sleep good at night. Because Manchester United hasn't won the Premier League ever since, you know, ever since Sir Alex Ferguson basically left Manchester United in 2013. So Manchester United has to pay Sir Alex Ferguson respect that it's a Premier League title in the post Sir Alex Ferguson era. Because again, we can profess to say that we're a top club, but if a top club is a top club, they need to be winning top club trophies. Not because we have a history of doing very good in top club or in domestic club or in international club. That doesn't that having a good uh having a very good resume is good, but if you're not able to do the work right now, that defeats the purpose right there. So as I close this video podcast, I want to hear what you guys again watch my video before you comment. Watch the video before you comment. Leave your comments below in the comment section. Who do you think Manchester United will sign or resign as in to sell? Because we need to sell to sign. Is Thiago is going to come to Manchester United? Is Van de Beek going to come to Manchester United, which is eminent, I believe? But is Manchester United going to get another attacker? Is Jadon Sancho going to come to Manchester United? Is another defender coming to Manchester United? Comments down below on who you think will come to Manchester United. So I'll shout you guys in the next video podcast. Hope you guys stay safe. Peace. Stay blessed.